Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with the topic session with my good friend Vanessa Coppola. And today we're going to talk the topic actions. Actions are important, and you have to take the proper actions to get where you want to be. But first, Vanessa, thanks so much for taking the time to do the topic sessions with me. Always a good time. I always look forward to it. Lots of good nuggets always dropped. And so looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Chip. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Awesome.
Riffing. Awesome. Yeah.
Love it. Well, let's dive into it. What do you have on actions today?
Oh man, I've got a lot. I'll try to keep it in digestible nuggets. But I love this topic so much. And I think I say that about every topic we handle, but this one in particular, because I think as human beings, we often really know what actions we need to take once we get clear on where we want to go, right? So like if go back and see our topic session on clarity, because I think it's awesome and really helps break down like how do you even figure out where you want to go, right? But I really do think, and I've run up against this with the people I work with too, I've run up against it myself, is that I really do often know what actions I need to take to get there. Right. Once I know where I want to go, I'm like, oh, okay, I can take this, 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 and this. Mm-hmm. So knowing the right action isn't really the issue.
Yeah.
It is, how do you get in the game to keep taking the action? And so for us, what we focus on in the Handel method is like, what are the thoughts actually that get in your way of taking right action, right? How do you wiggle out of taking action? Because we really do think as humans, our dark side comes to play. And so what we've noticed with people is that there really are at least three voices, but three for sure that we can hear in our heads when we're up against, am I going to take the right action or not, right? And we call them the chicken, so the voice of fear, the brat, which is like the voice of lazy, or really the one that throws a tantrum of having to change anything in the status quo, right? So the one that's like, I don't want to, it's going to be hard. It's a lot of work. It's different than how I normally do it, right? It's the one that wants to fight any sort of change. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then the weather reporter, which I find fascinating because this is the voice that I find in myself the most often. The weather reporter is the voice of, this is just the way that it is. So I shouldn't have to do X, Y, Z. There's nothing I can do about X, Y, Z. And so it really is a voice that's reporting on your life as if it's happening to you versus you are the author of your life, right? And you are the author who decides, am I going to take the action or not? The weather reporter really is like, it's raining in Seattle. I'm not a morning person. There's no way I could get up and work out in the morning. I'm just not a morning person, right? It's just the way that I am. So I think it's fascinating that once we actually can commit to action, to start to notice these three voices as they start chirping for us, right? And which is why I think it's really, really, really important to get clear on what actions you're going to take, right? So we talk about promises. Promises really are like, what will you commit to doing that is in alignment with your highest values? And I don't think it's that much of a secret that human beings are not great at keeping promises to themselves. We're often very good at keeping promises to other people.
Come on.
or at least better than keeping promises to ourselves. But when it
Yeah.
comes to keeping promises to ourselves, we let ourselves off the hook. And so the work that I do with my clients is really around, let's get clear on what action you're committing to that's in alignment with the dream you're going for. So make your action specific and measurable, right? How will you know if you've done the action or not? What are you actually committing to? So instead of like, I will work out more, if you have a fitness goal, right? Which is vague. It's not very powerful language, right? You got to get specific and you got to get measurable, right? So for me, that's like, I'll work out 4 times a week for 45 minutes a piece, right? So at the end of the week, I can check in. Did I do this? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? And so specific and measurable is really important. I also think doable, a stretch, but doable is really important for people. So you want the promise or the action to stretch you, start to stretch you out of what you normally do so that you can grow in the direction of your dream. But you don't want to say, like, if I haven't worked out at all, I'm not all of a sudden going to say I'm going to work out 7 days a week, 2 hours a day. Right? That would be a shock to my system. And I would be setting myself up to bag it. Right. And as soon as I start to fail at something, I like to forget it, easy out. Right. So that's why we want to stretch, but doable. And then I think it's also really important to just consider your external world when you're committing to an action. Right. So to really consider, okay, what am I working with in my external world? Right. So for example, if I know I'm like, want to be a social media influencer, right? But I'm committed. I'm saying I'm going to post on Instagram 5 times a week. I'm going to post a reel, and then I'm going to post to my stories daily, and I'm going to post to my feed daily, right? Like, great. That's awesome. If I'm going on vacation somewhere where there's no internet, that's not going to really work. Right. So I need to think through, what am I up against in my external world? And what do I need to manage to make sure that I can still stay on the hook for actions that are going to get me towards my dreams, but that they really are doable, right? They really do make sense. And if they don't make sense, then what other actions can I take, or how can I manage my external world differently? So I had a client today who was just, she just started a new job, and she started to get nervous around, she's traveling for the holidays and she's going back to Colombia where her family's from. And she was like, I'm going to have to give up my whole routine. Right? Like, I just got this routine in place, and now I'm going home to see family, and my time isn't going to be my own, and I'm not going to have my same space, and I can't work out the same way I used to. Right? And so we really did spend time designing, okay, if you're going to go on the trip, right? Like, what do we need to put in place for you so that you can keep a routine, so that you can keep taking the actions? What do we need to change for that brief period of time for the actions that you're committing to, if any? Right? And we just got to think about and manage that world, telling the truth about it, and then figuring out what actions she's going to stay committed to while she's traveling. And so I love this game because once we're on the hook for actions, then we get to really see the thoughts that are going to start to work against us. So the one final piece that I find really, really important to action, and that we teach people, is we teach people to create a self-imposed consequence, right? Because often it can be really easy to say, yeah, I can take that action tomorrow, right? Or I can work on that next week. I can put that off. And there really is a long-term consequence to that, which is, you're not going to get your dream. You're not going to get your goal, right? But as human beings, that's not often enough of a sting for us to wake up and choose to take the action. So we teach people to come up with like fun, but annoying consequences, so that when it comes time to choose, am I going to take the action or not? They really can say, am I going to take the action, or am I going to have to pay a consequence, right? So one of my favorite consequences is no creamer in my coffee in the morning, right? So am I going to work out today, or tomorrow am I going to have to give up creamer in my coffee, right? If I don't do it, I I got to keep my consequence, right? And that's often enough to push through the brat, to push through the chicken for me, and to push through the weather reporter. Because if I have a consequence on the other end, then I know I'm going to have to pay up too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we tell people what we're up to over here, right? Like I broadcast my promises to my friends, to my family, to my coworkers. I go public with them so that people can see me and know what I'm up to. Right. And that kind of accountability for me is great, because I really don't want to look like somebody who doesn't keep my word to myself. Right.
That's
So it
true.
just gives me a little added fire to do the thing, to take the action. Right. And to be in the game and to tell people what kind of game I'm in so that they can clap for me or keep an eye on me, or, just like give me a little. I love it when people check in with me once I've gone public on a promise. They're like, how's that going? How's your workout going? You said you were going to do that. Right. And I get to tell them. And then more often than not, I find that they support me. They're like, okay, well, how can I help you get that done? And I love that. I love having people come in and like join the dream team, truly, right? Like, what are your dreams and who are your people that help support you in playing to be your best self? So I know that's a lot, but that's what I got, Chip. What do you have on action? I know you got some good stuff.
I don't know, man. I just, just sitting here listening to you discuss all of those things. It's so many good nuggets that you dropped. And I love how you went in with the thoughts, because me, when I look at it the same way. I think your thoughts determine your actions. And so if you look at like for real, natural, like science, right? We bring in things through our senses, goes to our brain processes, pushes out, what we're supposed to do to our body based on what we think, right? So it's important. Well, that shows me right there that it's important to have the right thoughts so that my body will do the right things.
Yeah.
And so, as I heard you talk about, all of those, the voices, the promises, all of those things, that's what I was thinking about. And that's what came up for me. And so I think, to be great at anything, you have to invest into it with your actions.
Yeah.
And so that's the money. I mean, I think like I can think about things and process things all day, but if I don't put the actions in, if I don't put the work in, then nothing is going to happen. And so it's important, to me, I think input equals output. So teacher, I got to give you a formula, right?
I love
So, whatever you put into something is what you're going to put at, is what you're going to get out of it. And just like you explained, going through those processes of, and then you have the dream team, people to help you, your thoughts. And so like that's a lot of stuff to do, but oh my gosh, the benefits from doing all of those things, you're going to surprise yourself with so much that you'll accomplish. And you'll get excited and it'll put you on a roll. You want to do more. Okay, Chip, what you going to do now? And so the challenge, becomes now you're challenging yourself to be the best version of yourself. And to me, this next point is actions speak louder than words. I can talk all day and say, I plan to, I'm thinking about, no, get in motion, take one step right now. One baby step, young grasshopper. Just take one baby step right now to put in the action, and you will see that it will allow you to. Eventually, now you're getting to a brisk walk. Oh, wait, I'm jogging. Oh, now I'm sprinting. But it all started with that one step.
Yes.
Just take one step of action towards where you're trying to get, whatever your goal, whatever you're trying to achieve, just take one step and you'll see that eventually you'll and you'll get on a roll, and you'll, next thing you know, you'll be sprinting to that thing and knocking out all your goals, jumping over all your hurdles. Oh, wait, that's a track analogy. Wait a minute. Right?
Yeah.
And then within that, I think also you want to strive for consistency. I think consistency is key. Just like you said, we can do things once, but once is not good. You want to have that consistency to build on it. I look at like steps. There's steps, and you need that core common principles that help you with your core common foundation that you build on. So now you have a firm structure when you get to achieving all those amazing things, right? And so you don't get enamored with all of the flashy lights and all of this stuff. No, I have a core common principle of some simple things that I do all the time, and it don't matter what everybody else is doing. Like, these are the things that I hold true to, and this is what I'm going to do every day. And if you know me, you can bank on me doing those things because I'm consistent, right? Yeah. And so we have to strive for consistency in our actions. I don't remember if I shared the SHG principle in one of our other sessions, but I want to share that in this one as well, because it's so applicable. And I think, like, I have a principle for taking actions that I use in my life. And these have, as an educator, as a coach, like, these have been my rules, or, my, non-negotiables. Like, this is what we're going to do. Right. And I call it the SHG principle. And the S is show up. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. I'm supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time. I got to be early and not on time, because on time is late. Right. And when I'm there, and when I'm there, I'm in the moment. I'm present in the moment. Show your butt up. Right. The H is have a great attitude. And for me, gratitude is the attitude that determines our altitude. Hold on, Vanessa. I'm gonna get you.
I love that. So much tude. There's so much tude there, Chip.
Man, gratitude is the attitude that determines our altitude.
I love it.
Right. And we have to be grateful for the things that we do have. I think that allows us to, just like you said, with the self-imposed consequences, the having fun with it, about the coffee analogy. We have to be grateful for what we have, but don't beat yourself up. If you make one bad left turn, because get back on your GPS. You can reroute and get where you need to be, but you want to have a great attitude towards that. And then the G is give your all. With your actions, you continue to build if you're giving your all. Because 20%, 50%, 70% effort is better than zero effort.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you have in the tank today, give it to me.
Love that.
And that may not be a lot, but whatever you got, give it to me. And you'll get better because of that. And so that's the SHG principle. Show up, have a great attitude, and give your all. And when you do that, when I talked about striving for consistency, if I SHG today, it's a pretty good day for me.
Nice.
Then I reflect, okay, what I need to be better on. Oh, I didn't do this so well today. Oh, I got to work. Then boom, and tomorrow, hit the ground running. SHG tomorrow. Yeah. So that's another good day, right? And then I do that for a week. That's a good week. I do that for a month. That's a good month. Months, years. And what happens is, when I get to go visit the big man, if I SHG every day, I will have not just left a legacy, but it will allow me to leave a legacy by my day-to-day actions.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. I really do. We talk about personal integrity, right? Which is this ability to keep a promise to yourself. But really, the secret sauce of that is really just like lining up your thoughts and your actions with your highest values, right? With your dream, with where you want to go. And it really is a moment-to-moment phenomenon, right? It's a choice you get to make every moment of, okay, am I going to choose the thoughts of my higher self? Am I going to choose to act in accordance with my higher self, my higher values, what I'm playing for, right? Am I going to choose that thought? Am I going to choose that action in this moment? And I love that you said, don't beat yourself up, because
Yeah.
turns out, good news, bad news, you got to do the same thing the next moment. Right? And that's it. You string together a bunch of moments, you got a really great day. String together a bunch of great days, you have a really solid week, and now you're building consistency and you're building momentum. But what I love about that is you're building pride in yourself, right?
Oh,
You're
my
exercising that muscle of getting proud of doing what you say you're going to do, right? And of doing it for your higher self, for your highest values. And as you build that muscle, you really do get proud and happy and effective in your life. And oh my gosh, the feeling of integrity is so good, right? It's like, I think why consistency works is like it builds momentum because you're proud, right? And you see the results from putting it all together and choosing the dream, choosing the higher values.
Yeah. And you know, those magic moments make magic memories.
Yeah.
Right. When you build on them, and then, like you said, it brings a sense of pride, but then also there's no regrets, because you know, without a shadow of a doubt, every day, every moment of every day, I put the work in.
Yeah.
You know,
And you can do it the next minute.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some days I don't put the work in. I'm like, oops, blew it. Yep. Right. I blew it. Right. Or some minutes or some hour, I'm like, wow, I really blew that. I was out of integrity. Yep. Right. And that's one of the reasons I like self-imposed consequences, because you have a second chance.
Oh, yeah.
To keep your word to yourself. Right. Which is really just the game. You have a second chance every minute to get back on track. I
think that for me, you know, I'll use a sports analogy here. I played football, coached football for a long time in my life. And you know, I've taught next play mentality, you know, and so like, for example, like a cornerback, if I get beat on a deep ball or something, well, I can't sulk and get my head down, because I got to play the next play.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I'm down on myself and beat myself up about it, I'm no good for myself the next play. I'm no good for my team the next play. You know, and if I can't get good right now in this moment, then man, it's gonna hurt me in my future. And so it's important to be in the moment right now, right? And have that next play mentality. And that goes for good and bad. Like even if it's, you know, a bad thing happened, I have to have next play mentality. If it's a great thing that happens, hey, enjoy that, but next play. Right? Yeah. And so when we can adapt that in our life, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I really do think it's a fine line too, of like really mining our experiences. And we talk about this when we talk about experiences, right? But like when we mine our experiences for, okay, what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. And just take that and move forward, right? You want to take whatever the learning is and make it actionable. How is that going to impact your next action?
Yeah.
Versus feeling bad about it, right? If you're stuck in the past of that moment, that mistake, that play that didn't go well, right? You're not taking action. You're just stuck, right? And so it's actually inaction. And a lot of times we think, and actually we have traits, I think, that really want us to focus on what didn't work, right? Because we think it's going to help. That's what we tell ourselves, because I have to focus on this. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my edge. I need to be my harshest critic. But we take it too far.
Yeah, no doubt.
And really what we want to do is like look at ourselves honestly, gain the feedback we need to gain, get the learning we need to get, and then move forward powerfully with the next action.
Yeah, application is in the application.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, before we get off, if you don't mind telling the audience where they can go follow you, check you out, tell them a little bit about, you know, what you guys offer.
Of course. Yeah. So you can find me at Vanessa_HG Coach on Instagram. But I work for a company called Handel Group, and we're at Handel Group, HANDEL Group, all one word, on Instagram. We put out a ton of content, which I think is awesome. It's these little nuggets pretty consistently. And so like, go play. Go play in the archives over there. We're putting out new stuff every day, which I love. And then for people who are really interested in a deeper dive to what we do and how we take these principles and really integrate them into our lives, and who want help for how to do that, and join a community who is doing that, we offer a digital program called Inner.U, which is just, I love it. It's incredible. I still use it every day. I listen to the audio when I need a refresher on principles, or I need to script a hard conversation. In this case, I keep track of my promises because I have a lot of promises that I'm accountable for, right? And I connect with a buddy in Inner.U who helps me stay accountable to my promises. And that's all in our digital program. So that's Inner.U.coach, INNERU.coach. There's a ton of great stuff. So if people are interested in going deeper, that's a great place to start to check out what that digital program looks like. It's a combination of 12 incredible sessions of audio plus some really tangible tools for people to use and apply to their lives. So I think it's fun in there. It's a great community. And we offer your folks, Chip, because we love you and the work you're doing in your community. We offer $75 off of our products. So I think we'll drop a link in the show notes so people can see that and see the coupon. So they get a special deal if they're interested.
Awesome. Well, again, I just want to say thanks so much for taking the time to, jump on that topic of actions. Good stuff. I think that people can take it and apply it in their life. It's always great when we can be around people or watch videos or listen to audio of things that are beneficial to us, that we can use that and apply it, in our life, and have, more tools for our toolkit to help us be successful. And that's what it's about. Yeah.
Awesome. Chip, thanks so much for having me. I love these topic sessions with you. It's so fun to learn from you and get to share and truly riff on these topics. I think there's so much power in what you're doing, what the Handel Group is doing. And it's just fun to get to do it with you, be in your space. So thanks for having me.
Of course. Great times. Yeah. Well, again, I say thank you, and thank you guys for checking out this topic session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.